And for most of you, the holiday weekend is already here. So we're going to get right into what everybody really wants to know, the holiday forecast. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick joining us live now from the Outdoor Weather Center. Thomas, what can people expect when we hit the holiday?
Yeah, this weekend will still be quite hot, just at least not nearly as hot as it was to kick off this week. So we're not talking hundreds, but it's not exactly going to be cold by any stretch of the imagination. Mid-90s at a glance for both tomorrow and Sunday, with Saturday being the warmer of the 2 days. But I do point out for Saturday, could see some hazy skies, maybe a minor inconvenience at most. Across the region for tomorrow, again, mid-90s for the most part, maybe a little bit warmer towards the Lewiston area where we're still expecting about 103 degrees. As for Sunday, especially Sunday night, again, the Coeur d'Alene fireworks will still be going on over the lake. By 10 o'clock at night, about 82 degrees. So again, pleasantly warm for the region, just at least not as hot and nearly as muggy as what it was. But as far as those hazy skies go, well, these wildfires in British Columbia is providing that smoke that is now moving southward towards Washington. Could affect some areas like Omak and northern Washington the most, but coming up, going to go hour by hour and forecast exactly where this smoke is trailing and heading and when it will be here and out of the region.
Well, if you are planning to celebrate the 4th of July with some fireworks, leave them to the professionals. Fireworks are illegal in Spokane County and are flat out banned across most of Washington and Idaho counties. Now, in Spokane, you can be fined up to $1,000 for setting off fireworks. They're not banned in Kootenai County, but local law enforcement is highly discouraging them. Aerial fireworks are all illegal across all of Idaho, and if any fireworks, even something as small as a sparkler, starts a fire in Idaho, you'll pay for all of the resources used to put that fire out. Let's take a live look now at Coeur d'Alene over Lake Coeur d'Alene, where the drive-in fireworks displays will be seen. Of course, because Spokane's have been canceled, Coeur d'Alene's, though, in full speed mode. That's why Coeur d'Alene city officials are saying their fireworks show could wind up being one of the city's largest events ever. It's all coming with a bonus this year, too. Typically, their shows last about 20 to 30 minutes, but this year is going to be as long as 45 minutes. This is in the memory of the late Dwayne Hagedorn, and his corporation is donating the extra fireworks. But the big show has some people worried about how many people will show up.
So I just hope everybody's responsible and safe and picks up after themselves and is courteous to other people, and everybody just has good, clean fun.
Coeur d'Alene police say all of their available officers are working this weekend. They're asking everyone to remain clean and respectful and to remember alcohol is illegal in the parks. Taking a look now at I-90 near the state line as AAA expects travel this weekend to return to pre-pandemic levels as the state reopens. And with more drivers expected to hit the roads, you might notice extra troopers as well. They will be watching for speeding and distracted drivers.
Not that we aren't enforcing this law all the time, 365 days a year, but it's just pushing it to the front of people's mind as they're traveling. Speed is a contributing factor to a lot of the, serious injury and fatal collisions.
Idaho State Police will also have extra DUI patrols this weekend. That will continue through next Thursday. And if you're planning on spending your holiday weekend at the state parks, here's a heads up. There's a statewide burn ban in effect, which means no outdoor burning, no campfires, no charcoal barbecues. The ban is in effect through September 30th, but it might be shortened depending on fire conditions. So far this year, there have been 564 fires on or that have threatened DNR land. Of those fires, 427 have been in eastern Washington. And if you want to watch the fireworks in Coeur d'Alene this weekend, but you can't go, don't worry. We will be showing them over on the CW22. If you want to know more about the events happening this weekend or the statewide burn ban, all you have to do is text the word 4th to 509-448-2000. We'll send a link right to your phone. New at 10 with the reopening of Washington State this week, landlords are now able to raise their rent in certain situations. As part of Washington's eviction bridge plan, rent costs can be increased as early as September 1st, and first notifications have already been received, leaving some renters very worried. When you add up all of his rent and utilities, Isaiah Campbell says he pays $1,170 per month for now.
They gave me a 60-day notice saying that my rent's going to be increased by about $400, as well as an option to, if I want to go month to month, I can spend an extra $100 to just stay on that month-to-month basis.
So basically going up $500.
That's nearly a 42% increase, and it's not even the largest increase reported so far.
We're seeing them anywhere from 30 to 50%. I think the worst one, I got an email yesterday from a tenant who received a notice that their rent is going up from $1,000 to $1,700.
Terry Anderson with the Tenants Union of Washington State says these increases are not surprising. The incoming rent increase for Washington renters comes from a combination of factors, from the state of our local and statewide economies to the booming housing market. Anderson says particularly steep increases could also be an avenue that landlords choose to force an eviction without just cause.
We call those economic evictions because they may not have been served a summons in court, but when your rent goes up $700 a month, what are your choices?
As for Campbell's choices, the rental increase has forced him to ask some serious, life-changing questions about what he should do next.
I was probably going to get a couple of credit cards paid off, which would have helped me quite a bit. I would have been able to put aside some money for my car payment. I'm still paying off my car. I might have to consider selling my car, which I have put quite some money into.
Now, at the bottom of your screen right now, we've got the hotline number for the Tenants Union. They are asking you to call and share your situation with them. Locally, you can also bring your concerns to the Spokane Low Income Housing Consortium, or Anderson says you should also voice your concerns to City Hall directly. That is how she says she believes change can happen before the September 1st deadline. New tonight, Planned Parenthood of Greater Washington and North Idaho has requested a permanent injunction against the Church of Planned Parenthood. In a press release, Planned Parenthood said they wanted the injunction to stop the group from interfering with patients' access to health care. You might remember back in September, a judge ruled in favor of Planned Parenthood by granting a preliminary injunction against the anti-abortion group. Anti-government activist Ammon Bundy has been convicted of trespassing and resisting and obstructing at the Idaho Capitol last August. Now, Bundy isn't going to be getting any jail time because he received credit for time served and was ordered to pay a $750 fine. He also must complete 40 hours of community service. Crime has dropped significantly in Kootenai County, which had the 5th largest drop in crime in all of Idaho this past year. Now, according to a report from the Idaho State Police, crime in the county was down 23% compared to 2019. Now, while overall crime has gone down, cases of extortion, homicide, and embezzlement are up. Extortion is up 1,200% with a total of 13 cases in 2020. Homicides were up 50% with 3 cases in 2020. The most significant drops, though, were found in cases of counterfeiting, fraud, car thefts, and stolen property crimes. The death toll continues to rise amidst this week's historic heat wave, and today the Spokane County Medical Examiner reported that as many as 11 deaths might be heat-related. According to that report, circumstances suggest the heat was an issue, but the autopsy results are not yet available in all of these cases to confirm that suspicion. We now know the identity of another person whose death has been confirmed as heat-related, 81-year-old David Bev-Lemming. Heat exposure was also confirmed as the cause of death for 64-year-old Deanna Farwell and 84-year-old Beverly Martin. The medical examiner hasn't been able to complete and release the autopsy results from the other suspected heat-related deaths, which include 2 men who died in an apartment building in downtown Spokane on Wednesday. Those men lived in units close to each other, and neighbors say both men were suffering from heat-related stress. Tonight we have an update for you on Spokane's former Neighborhoods, Housing and Human Services Director, Cupid Alexander. Alexander has accepted a position in Austin, Texas, following his resignation back in June. According to a press release from the city of Austin, Alexander will join the city in early August of 2021, and he will be the city's Housing and Planning Department's Assistant Director. Search and rescue crews at the collapsed condo in Florida are preparing for the possibility that Hurricane Elsa will shut down their work. New documents from an engineering firm suggest repair work at the condo was stopped because damage to the concrete was extensive, and there were fears about the stability of the building. Now, while the collapse does remain a mystery, the agony for families is still relentless, as another child was recovered by crews yesterday.
The City of Miami Fire Department has lost a 7-year-old daughter of one of our own firefighters. So many of us know someone who has been in the building or affected by this tragedy.
The mayor has now signed an emergency demolition order to bring the remainder of the building down. Still coming up, amidst this historic heat wave, thousands of Avista customers dealt with power outages, but now Avista is blaming Spokane's growth. Next, as part of our Boomtown coverage, we're tracking the impact of rapid growth in the inland Northwest. Before we go to break, though, we do want to share a little shout out from our military members who are overseas. From all of us here at KREM 2, thank you and happy early 4th of July. We'll be back after this in 90 seconds.
Hi, I'm O.S. Siahi, assigned to the USS Wasp, and I'd like to wish my friends and family back home in Bellingham, Washington, a very safe and happy 4th of July. Go Hawks.